Over the course of the past couple years, I have always had passing thoughts of hobbies or projects I could pursue, like video making. Having really no experience in it, there's a huge barrier to entry, which has made me refrain from trying it for longer than sessions lasting only a few minutes before giving up. Some nights I get hit with inspiration of a concept that I'd love to explore, but it's usually as I'm lying in bed about to sleep, and I simply pass it off as, oh, I can work on that tomorrow. Of course, when the morning comes, I look back on my ideas and pick apart all the aspects of them. However, sometimes I manage to actually reflect on and appreciate an idea I had, and get really excited to start working on it. I've done this multiple times, writing a script for multiple videos, or planning out just what I want to say, something that will just simply get my ideas in a tangible format so I can revisit them and not lose my train of thought. Nonetheless, my inspiration eventually dwindles, and along with that, the motivation to continue a project. I get distracted with other easier endeavors, or sometimes knock the idea around in my head for so long that it becomes mutilated and unrecognizable from the original thought it stemmed from. It's not even that good once I look back on it and just think that an idea was just terrible to begin with. Or I think of how difficult the steps in making it will be, especially like downloading the video and audio clips on my half megabit download speed internet service. Like, actual what the fuck is this? Even something as simple as this little script I typed up on a bored night will likely get overthought and critiqued by my future self at some point, in the process of production or just looking back on it every day, leaving me with nothing to show for my effort. I've noticed this phenomenon more so in myself lately and have tied it back to a term used in a video by Zafrank.
That'll ever come to me. If you don't want to run out of ideas, the best thing to do is not to execute them. You can tell yourself that you don't have the time or resources to do them right. Then they stay around in your head like brain crack. No matter how bad things get, at least you have those good ideas that you'll get to later. Some people get addicted to that brain crack.
This little video perfectly summates the sensation I've felt in my free time for the past however long. Given the extent of my brain crack that is built up, it's fair to say that I've practically become addicted to this sensation. I simply sit around with an idea that seems great and would be enjoyable to produce, but then I just leave it as that, an idea. And like any other addiction, it's painful to continue down that same path, but even more painful to carve a new one. I mean, I have one hell of a painful addiction, like biting the skin around my fingernails to the point where I bleed profusely and it hurts like absolute ass. But I still end up doing it because there's a certain mental relief in giving up to this sensation. Yes, I feel more self-disgust after each session of giving into this urge, especially in public, but it's the road I've carved so deep for myself, and it's the path of least resistance, and therefore I keep doing it over and over. So perhaps if I can break the physically painful habit, I should break the mentally painful one too, simply by producing this video. Sure, I usually feel a great sensation of breaking this chain once I've worked on a script like this, but this time it must be different. I actually have to finish a single project that I start in order to stop this addiction to brain crack. And if you're watching this video, you'll know whether or not I was actually successful.